Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and now we're going to dive into Ohio State's head coach Ryan Day. Before that, I just wanted to remind you that if you guys are really enjoying the show, want to send us a comment, we can make sure that we see your comment if you use the tips and donation link, and that link is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. It puts your question at the top of the list so that I'm able to see it, and it also just really helps the show. But let's get into it.
Okay. Got a little confused there. Well, I know you're about to dive into this,
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny as I was thinking about the first topic with Jerry Jones talking about being all in.
Mm-hmm.
This next topic is again another situation where someone or an organization is all in. And then the one after that is a situation where everyone's all in. That's the theme of today's show.
All in.
All right, fire away.
Alrighty. Ryan Day, who is the Ohio State's head coach, could be in the hot seat heading into 2024. The Ohio State Buckeyes had a year that most programs would consider a success in 2023, winning 11 games and finishing the year with a New Year's Six Bowl appearance. However, these accomplishments were soured by their third consecutive loss to Michigan and an abysmal showing in the Cotton Bowl loss to Missouri. As a result, there is a good deal of frustration amongst the Ohio State fan base in regards to the performance of head coach Ryan Day. If Day doesn't win the Big Ten, make a run in the 2024 12-team college football playoff, things could begin to get uncomfortable for the Buckeyes head man.
Okay. All right. So, first off, I am technically the biggest traitor on the planet. I just want you to know that. I'm going to lead off by that.
Meaning what?
Born and raised in Ohio.
And you're a
I grew.
Michigan fan?
Yes.
Wow.
So, I am born and raised in Ohio, and I know how big Ohio State is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State is everything in Ohio. In Northeast Ohio, it's Ohio State and the Cleveland Browns. And I'm not really a fan of either. I support if Michigan isn't in the running and Ohio State's doing well, I'm that guy that can step back and be like, if Michigan's out of it or Miami's out of it, I'm going to support Ohio State and I hope they do well.
Mm-hmm.
Or I support the Big Ten, whoever's in the Big Ten. I want Michigan to go. Michigan won, but then the Big Ten, I'm there to promote them and support them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with Ohio, first off, people are just rabid crazy about Ohio State and Ohio. And you look around and Ohio fans have a major hatred for Michigan, which makes no sense to me. But I understand wanting to beat your rival, but for me, if Michigan's doing well and Ohio State's out of it, I think that they want Big Ten first, kind of like the SEC is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Georgia might not have made it, but Georgia wants the SEC to do well. Alabama might not have made it, but they want the SEC to do well. Not so much in Ohio. It is not that way. It's Ohio State first and anybody against Michigan. That is just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you turn around and Ryan Day comes to Ohio State after Urban Meyer, and he has been a success. He has been what most programs would be just a screaming success,
Mm-hmm.
except for in Ohio, because the rule is they can handle not winning the national championship, but they cannot handle losing to Michigan. Not 1 year, but 2 years, 3 years. Oh no, they're losing their mind. And when I was in Ohio in October, I spent a month in Ohio, and people were already like, get him out of here. He can't win against Michigan. We want him out of here. Ryan Day's been a phenomenal coach. This year, since the season has ended, Ohio State has put millions into their transfer portal, bringing in a top quarterback, bringing in quality players. Estimated over $16 million that they have put into the transfer portal, bringing in this new team. As I told you in previous episodes, the three best teams in college football, in my opinion, it goes number 3, Georgia, number 2, Oregon, but number 1 is Ohio State. Ohio State has filled in everywhere that they were weak, they are strong. Mm-hmm. Their weakness has become a strength. They are a powerhouse. They're going to contend for the national championship. Michigan's going to take a little bit of a fall back. But if you look at Ohio State and you say, hey, we went all in on the transfer portal. We put more money in the transfer portal than we have ever done. Harbaugh, he's deuces. He's gone. We have a first-year coach, someone that we don't really know, and now he's going to come in, and if Ryan Day loses, cancel Christmas. Cancel Christmas. It is over. He is gone. He can go all year and go and win every single game. If he goes in and he loses to Michigan, they're going to want him fired. If he goes in and loses to Michigan, makes the college football playoff now that there's 12 teams, and let's say somehow they win the national championship, but they lost to Michigan. Ohio State, the university, is not going to fire Ryan Day, but I'm going to tell you this. There's going to be a bunch of people that's like, we want to get rid of him. Even if they lose to Michigan but win the national championship, there's going to be a subgroup out there that wants Ryan Day gone. That's how crazy they are when it comes to this Ohio State-Michigan game. That even for some people, it's winning the national championship is less important than beating Michigan. That's how rabid they are. Now, as a University of Georgia student, mm-hmm. if Georgia went into this year and got smoked by Alabama, I mean like destroyed, but they were able to somehow get into the playoff and win the national championship. In Georgia, it would be like, I'm not happy about that that Alabama game, but we won the national championship. Yeah. Let's celebrate. Mm-hmm. There's going to be that in an Ohio State as well. There'll be a large group of them, but there will be a subgroup that's just not happy because they lost to Michigan 4 years in a row. That's how crazy they are about that Ohio State-Michigan game.
That just baffles me, honestly.
You don't understand how important. Listen, I have friends that I haven't seen since high school, mm-hmm. and I'm in my 50s. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen 4 years ago when Ohio State beat Michigan. There was a lot of people in Ohio that were really nervous about that game, but they won. I had people looking me up and finding me and calling my house, sending things to my house. And I'm like, who the hell is this? And I'm looking and I'm like, I remember Brian from high school. And I go and I look it up and it's like, I get a message via Facebook that, yeah, hey, did you get my stuff? And it was like, Michigan sucks. I haven't seen you since like 9th grade, dude. I don't even know who you are. But yet I can get a message or a package sent to my house because they know or remember, hey, Andrew Tate liked Michigan, and we just whooped their butts, and I'm going to let them know.
I feel like
True story.
from like my perspective of being a Georgia fan, and like our head-to-head person is Alabama.
Yes.
Georgia fans are not really like that, but
No,
Alabama fans are like that. So if Bama
okay,
wins,
go ahead.
if Bama wins, all over my social media, people that I am friends with that are Alabama fans, it will be Georgia sucks, roll tide, all of that, you know. And of course, like if Georgia beats Alabama, yes, the Bulldog fans will give them a little bit of a hard time, but we're not. And maybe this is just me, I don't know, but in my opinion, we're not like that.
See, I'm closer to this than you realize. My dad's family is from the South, primarily Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've spent a lot of time down there. I've been to Tuscaloosa games and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also been to Georgia. I've been to college football games all over the country. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Georgia rolls in there. It's kind of like, hey, we want to put our boot on their neck. We want to, and we want to win. Auburn, Auburn and Alabama, Auburn is a bigger rivalry than Georgia is, but Georgia's number 2. But when it's all over, I've seen this with my own family. It's kind of like, well, you know, Georgia kind of sucks, but they're SEC, and SEC is gonna do this. Yeah. And so they can kind of check themselves and be like, hey, we still won. We're the South. We won. SEC. No, it's the hell with the Big Ten. If Michigan's doing it, no, I don't care. They want Georgia. They want Alabama. They want anyone to beat Michigan. That's what I have seen growing up in Ohio, even this year.
Well, I'm starting to understand what you say by saying being a coach is a thankless job.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
Ryan Day has done a very, very good job with
Phenomenal
Ohio
job.
State. And the fact that they're thinking of not keeping him just because they've lost to Michigan State 3 years in a row. That's, in my opinion, I think
not Michigan, not Michigan State, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan
Ohio don't give a crap about Michigan State.
Well, losing to Michigan for 3 times in a row, I think putting him on the hot seat for that, for me, in my opinion, I think is very stupid. I think that is a stupid thing to be worried about when they've won 11 games in 2023 and was in the New Year's Six Bowl. Like, I don't...
Look at these 2 conversations that we're having here, though. Segment 1 and segment 2. Mike McCarthy, 12-win season, won the NFC East, made the playoffs, had a home playoff game. Majority of probably a huge, maybe majority of the people expected and wanted McCarthy to be fired. If he does this again and he has a phenomenal year, win the NFC East, number 1 seed, doing really well, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, off with his head. Ryan Day, go through, win every single game on their schedule, and loses that last game to Michigan, he's not coming back. He's gonna have if he loses to Michigan, he's gonna have to win the national make the playoffs, win the national championship to survive, because I think he's gone. That's my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball to know, but I can say with pretty strong confidence, he is a goner.
That's such a shame. I mean,
okay, here's one. Let me throw a curveball at you. Ohio State, they go through. They're having a good year, and let's say they lose to Oregon. Let's say they drop a game to Penn State or USC. So they had 2 losses this year. Maybe let's say they lost 3 games. They lost 3 games. They go into that Ohio State game, that Ohio State Michigan game. and they destroy Michigan. He's getting a contract extension. Seriously, I bet you he would get a contract extension.
What
A
is
three loss season, and you destroyed Michigan. He's staying. He is staying.
I don't understand this beef. I really don't understand this beef.
Now do you understand why the Ohio State Michigan game is the biggest college football game in the country? I've been to the biggest outdoor cocktail party. I've been to Florida, Florida State, Miami. I've been to the Alamo Bowl. I've been to Clemson's games. I've done it all. There's nothing bigger than that Ohio State Michigan game. The Super Bowl. That's and honestly, I would rather go to the Ohio State Michigan game than the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm more of a college football person too, so I agree with that.
But it's a madhouse. You go to Ohio State Michigan game, and I've been there. I've been there in Columbus. I've been there in Ann Arbor. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're in Ann Arbor. The last time I went there, it was like I think it was like 110,000 people in the stadium, and there was like 60,000 people outside the stadium. These jokers didn't even have tickets. They were just there to take part. 60,000 people who didn't have tickets, who were just there to party and be a part of it, didn't even have tickets to the game. They were just there to support their team. Most teams don't even get 60,000 people to be in the stadium. They got 110 in the stadium and 60 out of the stadium. Mm. That's how crazy it is. Little different. And Georgia's the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
One of the least. But that's that Ohio State Michigan game and why it is different. And I've been to both. And it's no competition. In my eyes.
Well, I guess keep Ryan Day in your thoughts and send him good vibes.
Thoughts and prayer to Ryan Day.
Because if he doesn't win that Michigan game, it looks like he's going to be out of here.
And you know what? Especially with Harbaugh gone and there being a new Jerome Moore being the new coach, they have to win that game, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And no one's going to be sympathetic if it happens. I mean, I have people that still talk about Tim Bianca-Batuka, which was like 20 years ago. He had this big, huge game, and people in Ohio State are still upset about that game. You know, they still talk about it. That's how crazy it is.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about the first restaurant in the world that is completely run by robots.
Someone's gone all in on a restaurant.
Yeah.
Automation. All in.